But LIC is the other one that we're following today after it reported what was a mixed set of first quarter numbers. Our colleague Yash Jain spoke to the chairperson of the company, Siddhartha Mohanty, and spoke to him about the company's APE growth, value of new business margins, guidance and more. Listen it.
If you see our commitment, past quarter is much more than what we committed, we have delivered. As against 15% APE growth, we have shown 21.28%. And margin, of course, margin if you compare March was a 16.8, this time we have shown 13.9, which is 20 basis points positive over last year, same quarter of Q1.
Correct.
So that is also there. And VNB growth also, as against 15% growth, we have shown 23.66% growth we have shown. So we are on track, whatever strategy we adopted and whatever commitment we made.
So are you on track, and do you still stick to the guidance on APE, VNB and margin?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now I want to speak a little in detail about APE and retail APE. As far as APE is concerned, 15% is what you've guided for FY25, which means for the year you will have to get about 66,000 crore in APE for FY25 to achieve that guidance. What I want to understand from you is that in this quarter, of course, you've shown about 21% growth. How does quarter 2 look? What could be the growth rate in your total APE? And H2? Would it be much stronger than H1 in terms of APE? And if yes, then what could be the growth that we could look at for H2?
You see, if you bifurcate APE, group as well as individual. In individual APE growth, we have shown, I think, 13.41%. And in group, we have shown a growth rate of 34.37%. So combined, we have shown 21.28% growth, group as well as individual. So my group is also contributing to substantial part of APE. So my sense is in Q2, because group business will also grow and individual as well. So definitely this position will continue.
Okay. Now let's speak a little about the value of new business. What you had guided for is 300 basis points higher than APE growth. That is about 18%. You've achieved exactly that on a higher level in first quarter, because you achieved APE of 21% and 300 basis points higher VNB, that is 24%. Could this 300 basis points incremental growth over APE continue for each quarter of FY25? Do you see that continuing?
That will be sustained. My sense is that the way we are approaching our distribution, particular product mix and all other things, that VNB growth will continue.
Okay.
Along with AP growth already is there, and VNB growth also will be there.
About 300, 400 basis.
Around that range, around 200 to 300 range, that will continue.
Let's speak a little about the margins, sir. The margins in this particular quarter, they came down from what the street was anticipating, and they were higher by about 20 basis points on a year-on-year basis. Now, what I want to understand from you is that you've guided for 19 to 20% of the margins in FY25. Is that achievable? Are you still on track towards that? Because in the first quarter, the growth was just about 20 basis points. Second thing, your long-term goal was about 25% VNB margins. The timeline that was spelt out at the start was by FY27. Are you confident of having near 25% VNB margins by FY27?
You see, if you see the margin in Q1, actually for entire industry, all listed players, everything, if you see, there is some pressure on margin.
Yes.
However, LIC has shown some 20 basis points growth as against 13.7, we have achieved 13.9.
Correct.
And major reason I would say, because product mix and product benefit, because we have revised annuity rate upward, many benefits also we have given more, so that has to some extent affected margin.
Okay.
Despite that, we have shown good margin. The industry as a whole, margin has come down, but LIC has shown. To your question of 20% in the current year, we have already told 200 basis points growth. Already last year we achieved 16.8.
Yes.
So it is coming around 19%. So 19 to 20% current year, that will be our, we'll try for that, and definitely I am hopeful we'll be achieving. And so far as 25% margin, we told 27.
Yes.
But as things move now, much before that, we'll be able to achieve that. That is my sense if things move and
In the
all
same
those
way.
things.
One final question on the financials. You had of course said that by FY25, our non-par share of individual APE will exceed 20%. You've straight come out and hit the ball for a 6. In the first quarter itself, you've achieved about 23%. Now, what I want to ask you is that what is the guidance then that we should assume for FY25? Should we raise it to about 25% of the total individual APE to be non-par products? And second question, 2 years, 3 years down the line, what is the right mix of non-par of individual APE that you see LIC to have?
See, current year, my sense is definitely around 25% or plus share of non-par APE will be there in the curve, because already 24% we have achieved.
Correct. Now let's come to a few questions on the regulatory side. Last interview you had said that LIC has started the process to look at its entry in the health insurance space. What I want to understand from you, since 3 months have passed since then, what is the progress on it on 3 important questions? One, have you identified a particular company that you're interested in? Second, would you hold a strategic stake or would you hold a majority stake, which is more than 50%? What would you want to hold? And third one, if composite has to come, let's say over the next 2 to 3 months, after it comes, would you be able to announce this acquisition and take things forward at least in the current calendar year itself?
You see, already we have expressed our intention to be in the health insurance space, indemnity health insurance space. And for LIC, we are now exploring all opportunities, what will be best in the interest of corporation. And now one thing comes to mind is to have stake in some standalone health insurance companies.
Okay.
So that inorganically we can grow. It is a sort of a plug and play. Everything is there, just I join them, I also sell. And we have a distribution strength. If you see today, most of the health insurance company agents are LIC agents.
Yes.
Our agents are selling health insurance products because we do not have indemnity. So that advantage is already there. So better to acquire a company which is already there, everything is there, and my distribution strength will be added to that. So that company will grow and LIC will also benefit.
There are very few choices that you have, just about 2 to 3 in the standalone health
So
insurance.
that we will examine all
Have
those
you-
things.
have you identified-
Our team is working on that. When we finalize, we'll come
And this
to you.
calendar year, if composite comes in the next 2 to 3 months?
We are hopeful within this financial year.